And you had mentioned something that was interesting before about, no risky investments, something that looks too good to be true usually is. What are some examples of something that looks too good to be true?
Well, what my thinking is that, well, we heard of Bernie Madoff, but like, for example, when you invest money and someone is telling you that the returns are going to be north of 50%, okay, and you don't have collateral, it happens. There are great investments. It happens. But when you want to look at a person's track record, the history with the investment, what I would say is look at the expected rate of return. Because if an investment is going to give that kind of return, it's probably not real. So you have to. That's one of the things I would look at: the rate of return associated with an investment. And it's usually a business. Someone's going into a business venture. It could be a startup. But again, these things sometimes hit. So you have to look at it. But the key is, what are you putting up? What risk are you taking financially? In other words, if you loan this money or invest this money and it doesn't work, what happens to you?
Right.
So you have to look at it as, okay, it's risky, but I'm not going to put everything on the table, or that if this doesn't work, I'm going to be bankrupt. So even if it's risky, you allocate a portion of your portfolio, your investable assets, into something that's somewhat risky, but if it doesn't work, it's not to your detriment.
Right. Great stuff. We're gonna get to the phone lines. You're gonna stay with us for a while, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
I'll be
you.
right here. Yes,
you're listening to WBAI 99.5 FM, Keeping Score. We are opening up the phone lines. Call us at 212-209-2877. That's 212-209-2877.
On Tuesday, August 27th at 10 p.m., Sugar in My Bowl will present Tony and Grammy Award winner Dee Dee Bridgewater. Tune in to hear more about this extraordinary song stylist, actress, and entertainer. That's Tuesday, August 27th at 10 p.m., right here on WBAI New York, 99.5 FM, and WBAI.org on the web.
The 2019 local station board elections are underway. Visit elections.pacifica.org for candidates' written statements, video cards, and debates. As of August 15th, your ballot will come in one of three forms: an email ballot, a brightly colored postcard, or, if you requested it, a paper ballot from Honest Ballot. If you cannot find your ballot, please fill out a ballot request form on elections.pacifica.org. Members in need of a paper ballot can leave a voicemail at 510-854-9663. Paper ballot replacements will be issued through October 7th. All ballots must be received by October 15th, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to be counted. It's 99.5 FM WBAI in New York and online at WBAI.org.
We're back. Our guest, we're joined by Injil Muhammad. Like I said, we're opening up the phone lines. You can give us a call at 212-209-2877. That's 212-209-2877. We have a caller now. You're on live with Keeping Score. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Stewart, New York. I just wanted to confirm the name of the tax consultant. He sounds like he is someone who can really get into a business and help pilot the best direction the business should go in. I was driving, so I didn't catch his name.
Injil Muhammad.
Injil, I-N-G-I-L-L?
It's actually I-N-J-I-L. I-N-J-I-L. Muhammad, thank you very much. I appreciate your comment.
And how do I get in contact?
It's okay to get my number, sir?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay. It's 212-684-3637. Again, 212-684-3637.
Thank you, sir. I will be calling you.
Thank you, sir.
That's good stuff right there. Can't complain about that. While we wait on callers, people are always going to get into financial distress. It's, some people will, no matter what, if they follow good advice, even if they do all the right things. what do you say to how can you help the person who is, has to file for bankruptcy or is having trouble? What kind of things can they do to get out of trouble?
Well, good question. Part of our practice is helping people who have serious IRS problems. We do a lot of IRS settlements, removing liens. If there are no assets and you're doing a bankruptcy, then you're going to get a fresh start. It's going to be a reset. And the same thing with the IRS. If you have an IRS problem and you owe a lot of money, but you don't have a lot of assets, you're also going to get a restart. So the key is, will you do it again? And that's the issue, because a lot of times we help people get off the hook, and sure and behold, 4 or 5 years down the line, they come back. Now, again, we welcome them back, but it's a matter of staying in touch and keeping them on the right path. So we all need a second shot. And here's the other thing. Okay. Financial literacy is not taught in our schools, and it's a major problem. I was just on the phone with a young client who was married about 4 or 5 months ago, and she was talking about getting a mortgage. And I was trying to explain to her that a 30-year mortgage is old school. We don't need those anymore. You're going to pay 3 times the value of the house. So we were talking about potentially getting a 20-year mortgage, because that's what we did. We all 30-year mortgages, and you wind up paying and paying and paying.
Right.
So financial literacy, and it's beyond an athlete, it's all of us, is missing. Even if you go buy a car, do you finance it? Do you have a lease? These are things that I wish were taught in schools, because once you are out here as an adult, it's on.
Right.
It's no instruction.
Right.
So what we try to do is help as many clients as we can solve problems, but more importantly, put them in a position where they're building for tomorrow, because there are no pensions anymore for most of us. Most of us have 401ks, right?
Right.
So, and Social Security, which may or may not be there down the line.
Right.
So what's going to happen? So it's very important that we save for tomorrow, and we understand how to pay as least amount of tax possible, especially when we're in retirement.
Right.
Especially when we're there. Because, again, we have a lot of clients who have a nice 401k that's never been taxed. And when that money comes out, they're really getting whacked with taxes, because no one talked to them about a Roth 401k. Now, a lot of athletes may not be able to do that because the income is too high and so forth. But we try to help people pay as least possible now and in retirement. So those are some of the things that we can bring and do bring to the table.
Right. Phone lines are open. Call us at 212-209-2877. That's 212-209-2877. We have a caller now. You're live with Keeping Score. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, good day. My name is Caesar. I'm actually calling from Brooklyn, New York, and I was trying to find out some information, because I own a 3-family home, but I'm going into retirement, and I wanted to turn those apartments into a business and to generate income that way. But I was trying to find out what's the best way to save on taxes and to register that as a business, I guess, as an LLC. But I wasn't too sure which path to go.
Okay, I heard most of it. Jamal, could you just repeat? I couldn't hear all of it. I heard about the business in Brooklyn and the rental property.
Now, what did you say? You have houses that you wanted to turn into a business?
I have one building that's a 3-family home. I was getting ready to rent out 2 of the apartments, but I wanted to try to register that as a business, but I'm not too sure which path would be the best tax.
Okay, got it. What I'll do is give you some general information, and then we most likely should talk offline. But the first thing you want to do when you go in any business, the most important thing of going into a business is not even taxes, believe it or not. It's protecting yourself from someone suing you. So you want to make sure you have a business entity that if someone slips and falls, they can only sue that business entity and not sue you. An LLC, which is a limited liability company, I think you mentioned that, is an excellent vehicle for rental property. Okay? So you want to make sure that rental property is inside of an LLC. All right? in terms of registering the business, you would form an LLC. You'll form an LLC, and then you would transfer the property into that LLC. Forming the LLC and not transferring the property into the LLC is a mistake that some people make because you'll be sued. Okay, so if you do not do that and someone slips and falls, they can sue and try to come after your other assets. So you want to form an LLC and put that property inside the LLC. And another thought, it sounds like you may be doing this for a while and you may get other properties. The question we ask ourselves, should you form another LLC for the second or third property? And the answer is yes. Because if you have 3 properties or 4 properties or multiple properties, you want to make sure that someone suing you from property 1 can't come get you for property 2. And they can if it's in a different LLC. But to get in general detail, if you wouldn't mind, we would love to reach you, and we can call the office and we'll sit down. The second part of your question I really didn't hear, so if I answered all of it, great. If not, let me know if there's another part that I missed.
The other part was the tax burden. I was trying to find out which way would have been the less tax burden, just keeping it under regularly under my name or putting it under the business.
You want the property in a business name because the deductions are easier to convey to the IRS and state if you form a business. Now, when you rent the property out, you still can deduct. I just want to be clear. If you keep the property in your name, you still will be able to deduct everything associated with the business part of the rental. But it's better if it's in an LLC for the first reason I spoke about, and also for the fact that you're separating your personal assets and income and expenses from your business asset and expenses. So when we form that LLC, the next thing I'm going to ask you to do is form a bank account, and the rents go into that bank account for the LLC, and the expenses are paid from that LLC. Okay, so you want to do both. When you probably heard about this new rule about a limited deduction for property taxes that is now $10,000 as opposed to being uncapped. You familiar with that? That came about 2017 December. So your property taxes and your state income taxes are capped at $10,000 if it's personal. Once it's business related, there's no cap. So there's another reason why we want you to set up this business entity, because those real estate taxes that you're going to pay will not count in that $10,000 cap. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.